Hey everyone, this is around day 10 of working on the $6,000 property. I just want to give you a quick update of what's happened in the last 10 days. I haven't been working all this time on the house. There's been a lot of other stuff happening on the side. Probably wondering how much have I spent so far. The paint, I've probably spent maybe $500. Building materials and the tools, probably close to $300 to $500 as well. I've probably spent around less than $200 on removing stuff. How much have I got left to spend? I probably have like $2,000 on the toilet. I'll have maybe $1,000, $1,500 on the rest of the bathroom, updating the vanity. I actually have a piece of old timber that I will use. It's just a beautiful piece of timber. I'll just use a shelf and put a bowl on the top, a vanity basin for a couple $100 and a mirror. And do some tiling myself. I don't think it would cost too much. I'll see if I can get anything secondhand. For the bathroom, you can save less than $3,000 to have everything completed. The house is really in great condition after that. Then it's just up to me what I want to do next. I have some ideas of doing the bathtub, putting some tiles down, and putting some kind of feature wall in the kitchen. These are just things that would just make it nicer, but it's not really necessary at this point. For the last 10 days, for the first few days, it was mostly cleaning out, trying to put things in the waste disposal or the shed. And now you can see behind how the kitchen is starting to look. Everything has been painted white. None of the trim has been done yet, but it's just been cleaned up and painted white. So I have a few new light fittings up there, looking good. So far I've kept the kitchen as it is. It's still in that green color. That's pretty nice. So it's still pretty messy. I've got lots of stuff everywhere, but it's starting to feel like it's my place and not somebody else's. The shelves worked out really well. They've tidied up really nicely. They're all white. I've started to put a few things in there. Those are some things that were left behind in the house. I haven't kept much of that stuff. This is something I just won at a capture game. Okay, and yeah, it's starting to look good. You know, the colors, I'm probably gonna put something on that back wall behind the kitchen sink to go well with that green down the bottom there. So maybe a half strength of that green kitchen cabinet there. Picked up these lights yesterday from Nitori and think they're a super nice buy for this kitchen. They're directional, and I can change the settings for the brightness on there, so they can dim right down for a mood setting. Painted this window white. It looks awesome. I might put some tiles across that shelf and convert this into something like a bench seating to look out into the garden area. Happy to get rid of all the shelving there to have a better view. Still have some kind of perspex hanging up in the window, and probably will remove that during the summer. I guess in the winter, I've got to cover all this stuff to stop the snow from caving in that window. I've taken off that the cover for the fan, the extraction fan for the cooking. I'm gonna have to figure out a good setup for that, because right now I've just got it over here, just temporarily. But if I'm gonna make this into a real decent looking kitchen, I think that needs to go on this wall here, just so it doesn't seem so out of place. And I might just wrap around a little bit L-shaped just to the corner there to finish this kitchen cabinet off. This room has come up really well. The tatami is super clean down there, and the furniture that I picked out a while back suits this area very nicely. Everything's just been painted white. I'm gonna leave the ceiling as it is. I think it looks good, and I've just changed that light fitting to one of these LEDs, which can just be, you know, dimmed for brightness, and also change color, so it can be ultra white or kind of a yellowy, lighter ambient light. This window is super cool. I haven't changed the curtains yet. That's probably going to go in a green. I'll pick out something in this tatami here, in this pattern, and I'll put that a light green onto that big window that has really great wind coming through here through this hot summer. But yeah, overall this white paint has come up really well. It took me 3 or 4 coats, I think, of this stuff. The first one I really had to tape the edges because I couldn't cut in. It was just like render for these walls. This hallway is also done, all painted up. I've just got the timber that I'm using here to fit out walls and floors that I've replaced, but all of the walls in here have been painted. I'm gonna leave this ceiling as it is. It looks really nice. It kind of just matches this one up here. And yeah, like I said, the kitchen's just got that modern white ceiling touch to it, just to have a bit of a more modern space. This is the room I've been sleeping in. So I did this one first, and this one tied up really nice. That had a lot of mold on the back wall, if you remember. That's gonna be the snow wall. There'll be just 5 meters of snow behind that wall. So I'll have to keep an eye on that snow and the mold in here. And on the wide angle there, you just get a better picture of what it's looking like. Yeah, the tatami again, super clean in this place. The doors here are really pretty. And this room has, it's still a bit messy, but this one has that sliding door access to the road, which is perfect for summer. Probably gonna be covered completely during winter. I'll try to keep it low so I can still get some air through here. The biggest change in the last few days is definitely the bathroom area. So I've had to really clean that up because of the termites. I took away most of the wood that's been affected. I put down multiple types of termite insecticide. I'm trying to like get to the nest, so to try to kill them all off. I'm also still going to get someone out here for an estimate to just give me a price for what it costs to have a pest inspection done. In the whole house, it's just this corner here behind me, where, you know, on the original video, it was just that, you know, I looked around the house carefully and that's just the only problem. This is in the shower room just over here, and behind the shower, I ended up removing a lot of the framing at the back, mostly originally to get access to this plumbing here, which is on this side, because I'll be changing the faucet here and replacing that, the taps and the shower. Also, the wall is pretty bowed. I think you'll see that here. Yeah, you can see how round that wall is there. Look at that. Yep. So I can see why it's just got wet at the back over the years. This is all mold. This black here. It's just not getting air through. So this is also where the termites were. They're no longer here, but they've eaten a lot of this wood away. So it was like this big thick timber down here. So this big thick piece, and you can see how that's being eaten away even on the inside. I put down termite poison for that, and that's really working well. I'm not seeing any termites anymore, so you can see them there, and they're dead. There they are. So yep, they're dead. They're not moving anymore. That's actually the hot water pipe. The further one across there. Looks like the access is on the outside of the house for that. Yep. Okay, so I'm just framing up the floor in the bathroom. I'm standing in the hall right now. And I'm going to be using this product, which is for termite protection, which is like a liquid stuff. I'll show this in a second. On all of the timber that I cut fresh here, I've taken out as much as I can, or as much as I need to for all the termite damage, replacing it with this fresh timber, which is basically 2x4, and I'll put these floor joists across behind me, which is like a 2x2, and frame up the floor. On this wall here, which has kind of water damage, I'm going to put an oil-based undercoat on there, and then paint over the top with a water-based, actually a waterproof paint. Same with the bathroom tiles. I'm going to put a waterproof paint over the tiles and either tile over the top, or I'll come to that later, but for now I just want to make sure this is watertight and safe of termites. This is the only spot in the house that has a termite problem. This is that termite paint, and it's just like a liquidy paint that's going to repel the termites. That's going to go straight over this timber here that I've been replacing. Floor framing is complete. And you can see this is still wet a little bit. I've just gone over that again in the termite liquid, this protection stuff. Hopefully that works. And I've also gone over the older timber down there and the same stuff. This is the back of the shower. I've opened that up for access for the plumber to be able to reconnect, to change over the faucet for the shower. And there was a bit of termite damage down the back there. I'm going to replace this piece of timber here, or I'm going to connect into it with another piece just to strengthen that wall up. Yeah, and I've also gone over that in an oil-based undercoat to kill off the mold that was behind there. When I put the floor down, I'm going to put some holes in the floor for better ventilation. And on the outside, I'll put a few holes too. Also gave the rest of the woodwork in here, and the trim, an undercoat to block out the old timber look. So I'll try to go for something slightly more modern in the bathroom. Okay, so the floor is down. It's going to have to come up again, so it's not fixed, but it's very solid. Feels good. I've just put down this one. There's going to be a wall here. I haven't screwed this down yet because I still need the plumber to come out and change some of that plumbing for the new. This will be a washing machine here, and beside that, the new toilet where the Japanese style squat toilet is. This is not waterproof yet, so when I get in and out of the shower, I'm going to use this just to kind of make sure I don't get it too wet. And I'm actually using what's on the floor now is the underside. So when the floor is ready to be, when the plumber's done with the plumbing, I'm just going to flip this floor right over and use that side as my top side. I'm also going to use the termite liquid, this termite prevention liquid, on this sheeting as well, because I just want to hit everything. And this is going to go, the vanity will go. I took this wall out. I didn't really need to. I was just kind of playing around with the design. I didn't really take this wall out, but I have now. Not a bad thing. We'll just replace it with a newer material. It's going to be better. It will also help the plumber kind of, and the electrician with the electricity there. That's the only light that comes through. Gonna have to put in 2 lights. There's only one there. Yeah, it's still got that toilet there, so that's going to be changed in the next week, I guess, within 10 days. This is getting ready for the wall. There's going to be a wall in this place here. I'm going to wall that off, and that toilet section will have this space here, and the current toilet space there. What you're looking at here is on the right side, this will all be open. So when you come into the shower space, you'll see this washing machine. In the bathroom, the tiles they're okay, but I'm going to waterproof. I'm going to go straight over them. I'll scratch them up, make sure the paint sticks, and waterproof them, all of the tiles. Mostly as well because I can see a bulge in this wall, if you can see there. So that wall is, and I'm just looking at this wall here if you're wondering, but this wall bulges out. Part of that will be because this wall had the termite issue on this side. I'm going to strengthen that up here. I'm going to just paint straight over this, like I said. I'm having these replaced. These will be changed to the Japanese mixer, the really cool mixer. And the temperature can just be set. You just have to switch it on. Probably paint this window white and then paint this room out and maybe replace that fan if I need to. In the long run, I'll take out that bathtub. I just don't need it. I will never use it. I'll just make a massive shower room in here. We'll just do a quick round upstairs as well, just to see what the update is after 10 days. So a friend of mine came around and helped clean this place up, and it looks really amazing. It's super clean now. It's really cleaned up well. The washi paper is pretty good on the windows. And this color has grown on me. I'm probably going to leave this color as it is. Just using the space for kind of storage now. This room is pretty clean now. I don't have a light fitting for here yet. I'll put some kind of nice lighting in here too. This room's looking really good. And then if we jump through here, through the hallway, it's super clean up here too. I won't change the walls. I do like the finish. A fiber wall with some pretty blue fibers in that. It's like white, gray, blue, and it sparkles a little bit there. Then this other bedroom, also looking super clean. You can see on the floor here where the sun's just damaged the tatami, but that's really not a problem. In general, the tatami is in really great condition. Super happy with it. And then that's the view through this room. It's really nice. I like that, this little paper down here is cool. Love that one. Not sure what's on the back of this one. So look. I've got the matching there. That's cool, I like that. And again, the light switch is not in, the light fitting is not in this one. Yeah, looking back there, it's all just cleaned out. Painted all the big room with, so originally it had that wall, that veneer finish, timber veneer finish on the walls. I needed to put an oil-based undercoat on this to cover that and stop it from graying. The white makes a huge difference. It's already got like a beach feel in here, and I love it. I love this space. This rug, this is just a massive rug on the floor. It's not going to stay. It's just huge, and it covers the floor. So it protects the floor for me while I'm working up here. And then that's going to look, you know, when I pull it all up, we've got this timber finish down here, which is just like a veneer. I think it's a veneer, yeah. And I'm just spraying up the old curtain rails. Have a couple of cracks up here. I'll just fill them up, that's not a problem. Really good. Okay, I'm gonna take you guys up onto the roof, which I painted the other day. So we just climb out this window here. It's pretty fun. And we'll take this ladder up here. The other day I couldn't sleep in the morning. I just decided to get up at like 4:30 in the morning before the sun rises around 6:30, but it's bright by like 5 a.m., 5:30. I'm using a two-part paint, so I add two different parts of paint together to make a better, stronger paint. I started by cutting everything in the beginning, and I was using the brush to get every section, every part of the roof, but it just got too hot too quickly. So I did as much as I could before I started to sweat too much. It's like 35 degrees Celsius during the day. And I got most of the way. And then I just started rolling everything else. So I had to mix the paint each time. I had to mix a batch and then go back down and mix another batch. So I still have this section left, and this is just the undercoat. The reason I did this was, I've changed the color to white. I'm not going to go back to this original color. It gets really hot here during summer, and my goal is to reduce the heat inside the house without using air conditioning to save money as much as possible. And not just to save money, but also for the sake of a lesser impact on the environment. Using electricity with air conditioning, I prefer to try to get we have super good cross ventilation in this house, so I'd love to utilize that instead. When I came up here and painted the roof that morning, I noticed about a 5 degrees Celsius difference inside the house immediately. So that room at the end there, it just changed completely. It's so much cooler. Downstairs, much cooler, just because I'm reflecting that UV sunlight on the roof. And again, this is just a primer. This is just a sealer. After this, I'll actually be using a reflective paint, a technology in the paint that reflects the sunlight. So it's called aquacool, this type of paint. And this roof is solid. It's super solid. This is not a self-shedding roof. This will hold the snow up here. I'm gonna have to physically come up here and take the snow off, or pay for somebody to remove this snow. This is gonna be an extra cost, an extra time, an extra effort in life. But this is a super solid roof built for a lot of snow. I'll have about 3 to 5 meters stacked up down here in the backyard. And I'll have, I'll try to keep as little snow as possible on the roof. Yep, these guards are to hold the roof, to hold the snow in place. And then I have this ladder access to just come straight up here and remove the snow. Sunrise is just there over the mountain. Let's head back down off the roof. One other point I'd like to mention, and it's like a recommendation, advice for people looking to do this. I screwed up big time. And when I moved to this place, when I moved to Niigata, to Miyoko, I had already known about, like, if you buy an Akiya, you can get some kind of government grant assistance to update the house, because there's a lot of problems with Akiya. This house is not an Akiya, and I should say, like, Akiya is a vacant property or abandoned house in the Western media. So this is not an abandoned house. So I was under the assumption that I didn't get these government grants. But it turns out, I just found out if I had applied within 30 days to get a government grant, I would have basically had at least 5,000 US dollars just given to me, not for the house, but just because I'm moving to Miyoko. I'm buying a house in Miyoko, in Niigata, and there's this benefit that they want people to move here. The government wants people living in these areas because they are becoming desolate. So they were just going to drop basically 5,000 US dollars in my bank account as, a way to deal with upgrading. It can be anything from upgrading my car, upgrading my house, or, just making my life easier, my transition to Miyoko. On top of that, you can also apply for updating things in your house. You get a percentage value based on the value of your property and your house, and that would help with upgrading your kitchen, upgrading your bathroom. Considering that there's a lot of snow in this area and the damage, all of these things would help to cover anything that would cost this extra money. Houses get destroyed here because of the snow, and this money is really to help with that stuff. If you're looking to buy property in Japan, you really need to be on top of this. So there was a 30-day cutoff. As soon as I signed the contract, as soon as I received the contract where I had bought the property of the house, I had 30 days from that day to apply within that 30-day period for this government grant. I found this out at 45 days, and I went down there 15 days later than the cutoff date, and I don't get any money now. So I just I missed out on receiving 10,000 US dollars, roughly. You could say between 5 to 10,000 US dollars. And that also covers the waste disposal. Anything that was remaining in the house, I would have had around 1,500 US dollars to help cover the cost of anything I needed to get rid of in the house. If you're looking to buy a property in Japan, make this one of your priorities. Don't forget that you can get a lot of money to help, to assist with improving your lifestyle, your building in Japan. If you have any comments or questions, or if you're wondering anything about the house, what's going on, or if you have any design input, would love to hear it. I'm not a designer, I love to play around with this stuff, but if you see anything in the videos that you think might be a good idea, throw it in the comment section and I will, we can discuss it there. I'm open to any ideas. Hope you enjoyed this update, and I'll put out a new video as soon as I can. I've been super busy trying to juggle building this house, make reels, and just try to get this house really livable as soon as I can. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for the next one. Happy travels!